In a world where attention is the most expensive currency, Machiavelli's mind would have thrived. He would not whisper about charm or luck, he would dissect obsession itself. If he lived today, he wouldn't rule kingdoms, he'd rule influence. He'd show you that power isn't just about control, it's about designing how people feel when they're around you. From family arguments to workplace politics, from parenting struggles to business deals, everything runs on one principle: who shapes the story, wins. Today, we'll uncover how Machiavelli's timeless strategies would work in the chaos of the modern world. So before we begin, make sure to hit subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who needs to understand how influence really works, because this isn't about manipulation. It's about mastery. You are a parent whose 13-year-old refuses to hand over the phone at dinner and storms out when you try to enforce rules. Machiavelli in a modern hoodie wouldn't bargain about feelings, he'd redesign the stage. He would remove temptation by rearranging where devices live, not as punishment but as a new household ritual, replace the argument with a single predictable alternative, one shared family ritual at 6:30 every evening, and make your presence the rare commodity. Show up for that ritual fully, no notifications, 5 minutes of intense, undivided attention where you ask one smart, curious question about their day and listen until they run out of words. He would not scold, he would model a consequence that preserves dignity, a contract of privileges tied to measurable contributions, and then publicize the wins, praise the small, visible behaviors in front of the family so your child sees social benefit to compliance. Brutally honest, kids follow what pays social dividends and what is consistent. Stop arguing and change the environment and agenda so the fight disappears. You are a co-parent who argues about discipline every week in front of the kids and nothing changes. Machiavelli would treat the household like a fragile coalition and create a united front while keeping private leverage. He would call one private meeting where each of you lists non-negotiables, then trade concessions that are enforceable and public, shared rules the children see and predictable consequences the children expect. He would control timing, bring up big changes in a calm, planned sit-down, not in the middle of bedtime or after a stressful day. He would script how you split duties, visible calendars, shared apps that show task completion, so loyalty is rewarded and excuses are minimized. Brutal truth: consistency beats moralizing. Make your policies simple, visible, and unavoidable so the kids learn the pattern and the arguments lose oxygen. Your teenager is failing math and your instinct is to yell or to micromanage every study hour. Machiavelli would map incentives and social proof instead of piling guilt onto the child. He would arrange for the child to sit with a peer who's actually good at math for a structured 2-hour session, turning competence into a social event rather than a punishment. He would secure one short-term tutor with clear milestones and make passing a public mini-celebration, a pizza with 5 friends, so effort becomes socially rewarded. He would craft a narrative: you're the one who figures things out, and let that label guide behavior, while quietly removing low-return activities during study windows. Honest appraisal: kids absorb identities from their environment, change the company they keep, set visible goals, and reward the smallest victories in front of others. You are a parent of a gifted child whose school underestimates them. Machiavelli would not plead, he would build a coalition. He would make a short, evidence-based dossier of the child's work, send it to the teacher and 2 other parents, and ask for a small, concrete pilot. Let the child lead a mini-project in class for 3 weeks. He would use timing, avoid the start of term chaos, pick the week after a holiday, and present the proposal as benefiting the teacher, saves grading time and increases class engagement, not merely as an entitlement. He'd ensure the pilot succeeds by providing the resources, rubrics, materials, so the teacher looks good when the teacher is publicly praised. The new status becomes institutionalized. Cold fact: adults respond to proposals that reduce risk and elevate them. Put risk on your side and everyone will sign on. You are in the middle of a blistering family fight about money where insults are traded and resentment builds. Machiavelli would control fewer words and more structure. He would insist on one written budget meeting with clear line items, a neutral location, no bedrooms, no family group chat, and a third-party mediator if needed. He would make short-term, enforceable commitments instead of vague promises. He would use timing, postpone emotional debates until a day after everyone sleeps, then reframe the argument into shared goals, education fund, emergency fund, and link them to identity. We are the kind of family that prepares for tomorrow. Unvarnished truth: when money touches identity, people freak, convert heated feelings into concrete numbers and deadlines, and the conflict becomes manageable. Your blended family has tension because a step-sibling is always favored in small ways. Machiavelli would seed rituals that redistribute status without admitting favoritism. He would design public moments where each child is assigned a visible, non-transferable role: cook one night, DJ another, plan a monthly outing, so status is earned and seen, not whispered. He would privately ensure fairness, equal privileges tied to responsibilities, and publicly celebrate the smaller child's achievements more conspicuously to correct perception. He would also control small, symbolic gestures, the same birthday ritual for everyone, because people anchor to symbols. The hard truth: perceived favoritism is corrosive. Change what people watch and reward what you want to grow. You are a parent negotiating screen rules with a teenager who threatens to never speak to you again. Machiavelli would not beg, he would present options that preserve autonomy while protecting your boundary. He'd offer two choices that both meet your bottom line, e.g., 1 hour of social apps after homework ends, or 2 hours on weekend afternoons, and put the decision back in the teen's hands. He'd add a short, reversible trial period to reduce perceived coercion and set a visible metric of success. Brutal honesty: people hate being controlled, but they accept choices. Give constrained freedom and they'll pick the path that keeps relationship intact. You are a parent watching your child's reputation crumble because of a school rumor. Machiavelli would orchestrate a reputational counterweight rather than rage. He would quietly recruit 2 respected peers and a teacher to witness the child's strengths, organize a class presentation where your child shines, or a team activity where they lead, so the social record changes from whispered rumor to documented competence. He would avoid direct confrontation that amplifies the rumor and instead flood the environment with alternate narratives. Cold truth: rumor dies when people have better, repeated reasons to respect someone. You are a student trying to win a leadership position in a student council filled with clique politics. Machiavelli would treat the election like a micro-campaign. He'd map the voters: who decides, peers, teachers, advisors, stage small, high-visibility wins, successful mini-event, use scarcity, limited meet-and-greet slots with you, and create allies among influential groups by offering them roles. He'd time his announcements to coincide with high attendance days and craft a simple, repeatable slogan that positions him as the practical choice. Frankly, popularity is a function of visible competence and alliances. Manufacture both ethically and you increase your odds. You are a teacher watching a shy but capable student get drowned out in group projects. Machiavelli would structure the environment to redistribute influence. He would design roles so that the shy student has a non-negotiable, visible responsibility: data lead, presentation designer, and set public credit mechanisms, slide with contributor names. He would create a short ritual of peer recognition at the end of each project, making public acknowledgement predictable. Straight talk: influence in group settings is structural. Change the structure and the shy student becomes central without theatrical pressure. You are mid-level at a company and have repeatedly been passed over for promotion while louder colleagues advance. Machiavelli would stop playing by invisible rules and start engineering outcomes people can't ignore. He would schedule a short quarterly presentation where he shows measurable wins with before and after metrics, and he would invite the decision-makers so his competence is visible in their calendars. He would also build a network of allies who will vouch for him in the right rooms, informal coffee meetings with 2 stakeholders a month, then execute visible projects that solve key executive headaches. Brutal truth: bosses promote what they can point to in 10 seconds, become that 10-second example. You are in a meeting where a charismatic coworker hogs airtime and takes credit. Machiavelli would preempt and reframe rather than complain afterward. He would circulate an agenda that assigns time slots and deliverables so the meeting's shape denies monopolization, then publicly summarize outcomes in a short follow-up email that assigns credit precisely where it is due. He would create small rituals, start every meeting with 2-minute wins, to reward contributors and create pointers for recognition. Honest reality: meetings reward prepared structure, bring it and control how the story of the meeting reads. You are a manager of a remote team where engagement is dropping and always-on workers are burning out. Machiavelli would design scarcity and visibility into the remote routine. He would set synchronized core hours for focused collaboration and reserve 2 days a month for in-person or fully camera-on connection rituals to replenish social capital. He would signal value by publicly rewarding focused outcomes, a weekly highlight email, and by modeling boundaries himself, no after-hours emails except in real emergencies. Plain fact: remote work collapses status rituals, create new ones deliberately, and you become the magnetic presence people want to work for. You are negotiating a salary and the HR reply is a bland offer that insults you. Machiavelli would treat negotiation as a chessboard, not a battleground. He would prepare no comparable market numbers, have alternate offers, or a clear BATNA, and anchor the conversation with a firm, data-backed request while showing the employer the upside of investing in you, specific projects, revenue impact. He'd control venue, ask for a tight, one-on-one call scheduled in the morning, and use timing to his advantage by setting a reasonable deadline. He'd offer a concession that costs little but signals flexibility, start date shift, in exchange for the number he wants. Unvarnished, strong negotiators are predictable and prepared. Be both and you win respect and pay. You are the founder pitching to investors in a crowded seed round. Machiavelli would not beg for money, he would manufacture clarity and urgency. He would craft a crisp narrative about a solvable problem, show 1 or 2 repeatable metrics that demonstrate traction, and announce a capped raise window so scarcity is real. He would also secure a reputable micro-investor before public outreach to create social proof. He would drip information deliberately, release a demo 1 week, a customer testimonial the next, so interest builds rather than exploding and fizzling. Brutally honest: investors buy narratives that reduce risk and promise leverage. Give them both in neat, time-bound packages. You are closing a B2B client who stalls at the contract stage. Machiavelli would convert indecision into commitment by making the client look competent. He would propose a pilot with clear KPIs and a short-term discount that converts into full price after proven results, and he'd structure the contract so the client's internal sponsor gets a visible win they can present at their next leadership meeting. He'd add an unpredictable but pleasant bonus, a white glove onboarding touch or a small implementation credit, so the client feels privileged by moving forward. Truth: people sign to avoid looking indecisive and to claim wins. Facilitate that in deals close. You are launching a product against established competitors and your marketing budget is tiny. Machiavelli would sculpt scarcity, social proof, and ritual to matter louder than money. He'd run a limited-time pre-order that includes a visible founder-run onboarding webinar, recruit 5 credible micro-influencers who actually use the product and show measurable results, and create a repeatable referral ritual that gives early buyers a named status, founding members. He'd control the narrative by publishing short, raw case studies within days of launch so the story is present and not theoretical. Candid: if you can make early customers feel like insiders, they evangelize for free. You are facing a public complaint about your company on social platforms that threatens a small but vocal backlash. Machiavelli would take the stage quickly, admit limited responsibility, and then focus on fixing and framing. He'd release a short CEO video outlining the specific steps you are taking, publish an FAQ, and reach out privately to the most influential complainers with concrete remediation offers. He would reward loyal customers with an unexpected upgrade or credit to convert anger into loyalty. Reality: silence or defensive denial is fatal in modern attention economies. Own, act, and then amplify the repair. You are bargaining a strategic partnership where both sides fear being taken. Machiavelli would propose a tight pilot with measurable outcomes and a pre-agreed exit clause so both parties feel safe, then add a small, immediate exchange that signals commitment, co-branded content, a joint webinar. He would map each side's public needs, what makes them look good, and design the early deliverables to feed those needs so the partner's ego and incentives align with success. Cold truth: reduce perceived exposure and highlight mutual prestige, and partners sign. You are balancing work in a high-stakes school event for your child and worry your boss will be angry for a day off. Machiavelli would plan the absence as a performance, not an apology. He would finish the most visible deliverables first, hand off what remains with clear instructions, and send a concise early notice that frames the absence as a one-time investment in your family's stability, with a short plan for coverage. He'd manage optics, be present and intense before and after the absence, so the message is competence, not chaos. Honest: people tolerate boundary setting from those who deliver results. Build the bridge and walk it. You are a parent who's tired of being the only one advocating for your child's academic recognition at the school. Machiavelli would become quietly systematic. He would attend one teacher's meeting and come prepared with 2 concrete volunteer offerings that make the teacher's life easier, thereby earning goodwill. He would then, without grandstanding, provide artifacts of the child's work and request a small, structured showcase. He would time the ask after a positive event and keep it short. Teachers are willing to elevate students when asked with clear, low-effort mechanisms. The blunt truth: influence in institutions is earned by easing burdens and showing up with solutions, not demands. Across every one of these scenes, Machiavelli's modern hand is the same. He reshapes the environment, times interventions, converts private leverage into public rituals, and trades small conspicuous wins to change perceptions without coercion. He would not invent obsession through lies or isolation. He would make you scarce, competent, visibly valuable and indispensable in ways that people choose to follow because following benefits them. That is the honest, ethical core of influence in 2025. If Machiavelli walked among us now, he wouldn't wear a crown, he'd wear confidence. He'd navigate families, classrooms, offices, and boardrooms with the same ruthless calm he once reserved for princes. His power wouldn't come from deceit, but from precision. From understanding people better than they understand themselves. The truth is, obsession isn't created through words, it's earned through presence, control, and consistency. Those who understand this don't beg for attention, they command it. If this breakdown gave you a new lens on human behavior, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who's ready to stop chasing validation and start building influence the Machiavellian way. Because in this world, attention isn't given, it's taken by those who know how.